Is up, everyone, and welcome back. My first video here on the channel went live on 29 September of 2017. It was for the unsigned band Fall of Humanity, the track Season. They are signed now, it looks like, but at the time they were not. And it really set the tone as far as one of the big things I wanted to do here on the channel, which was focus on lesser known bands and give them the coverage they deserve. A lot of channels here on YouTube were not doing it. A lot of channels still aren't doing it. They're going for views. And I wanted to provide content or the commentary and reviews in my way, in my style, because there was a real lack of it at the time. And I started this channel with nothing. I started it with an okay webcam and a gaming headset. I didn't have a condenser mic. I had no idea how to do video editing. And honestly, that's kind of been something that I've kept. I don't do a lot of edits as far as clipping things. I rarely cut on a video. I tend to shoot it all in one take because I just rather it be honest. I'd rather it be complete. And I do my best to not cut things out. So more often than not, I'll actually start a video over instead of just editing things. It's really weird. Or it might sound really weird, but it's how I've been doing it for well over 600 videos now. Man, the numbers are crazy. Well over 600 videos. Easily over 100 records. I might be over 100 records. I think I'm over 100 records. Over 1,000 songs. There's no question there. And that's to include stuff that I've had to delete, or stuff that's just up on BitChute, and stuff that I just haven't posted. Sometimes I get a video, I get a request, I shoot the video, and I'm just not happy with it. I'm not happy with it in either I'm not happy with the track, and I'm not happy with how negative I'm being, or a combination of things. So some stuff just never makes it off the proverbial cutting room floor. And it's just because I don't want to be extremely negative about things. I want to be constructive in my criticism, and I don't want to just straight out bash and tear a band down, because that doesn't do anything positive. So some things just don't make it out. And I think if I add all that stuff in, the video count's probably over 700. I think there's still a few videos I have set to private that I need to open back up from the whole copyright strike frenzy for Japanese music that happened with Noise Pictures and Words and some other channels out there. But this has been an amazing ride for the past year. I've learned so much about making videos. I've learned so much from so many of you, and had just some things that have truly changed my taste in music, the way I listen to music, and the way I do reviews, and the way I do things here on the channel. It's been amazing. And there's positives and there's negatives. And talk a little bit more about that stuff. The channel really hit its stride towards the end of November, and coming into December is when things really changed. Getting the request by Clear Shala to do Different Sense by Duran Gray blew the channel up. It made the channel, helped really start driving the channel the way and to what it's become. I didn't completely get the track. I didn't completely enjoy the track at first, and I said as much. I expected to get destroyed. I expected to get crucified. I really did. Duran Gray fans you guys are a rabid bunch. You really are. You're very intense. You're very passionate. You're very dedicated. You're very devoted. And I expected to get slaughtered. Instead, I got an incredibly amazing outpouring of respect and suggestions. You should check this out. You should check out Behind a Vacant Image and Venushka and Beelzebub and so many other tracks. It's honestly hard to remember them all. But doing that, really touching on the ballads at first, made it click for me. It made it work. And touching on those tracks, the softer, more ballady stuff, or the more progressive stuff actually as well, made it so I could eventually grow into the heavier stuff and like it. Because at first I couldn't. To me, when they went too extreme, it sounded like they were trying too hard to go too extreme. Being a fan of extreme metal for as long as I have been, it felt like they were struggling in that aspect. And listening to stuff off of DSS felt like they were kind of ripping on In Flames a little bit. And I had to put some of those biases aside and open my mind to really, truly be able to grab onto it. And I'm so glad I have, because I don't just listen to the band now because you guys want me to. I listen to the band because I've become a fan. And on top of that, because you guys want me to. But it's now a combination of both. I now enjoy it so much more. And that was a big thing about it, was I had to really understand very quickly that I had to be open-minded here on the channel. I mean, I've been listening to metal for over 30 years, and I've been playing metal for over 20, and booking and promoting it for 13, 14 off and on. And I had to really realize there's stuff that I didn't know, and I had to be open to different things, and it's been incredible. Another big one there was the Gazette and Doing Ugly, which is still a track that I absolutely love, of course, coming off that amazing live, which thanks to Kareen, I have a copy of, and I actually get to watch the overwhelming majority of it now, which is really nice. So I finally get to enjoy it and go back to it on my own. It's such an amazing concert. It really is. It's a great show. But you know, that they were a band that was easier for me to get into. And there's still a lot of nuance. There's still a lot of things I had to struggle a little bit to get into some of the earlier stuff, like the stuff off Stack Rubbish. You just never know what you're going to get. I feel like as of late, they've become a more cohesive band. And the last couple of records with Dogma and the absolutely incredible Ninth, they've become more cohesive, and they've really given you a focused record. They still have some of the stuff that makes them unique, but it's more focused. The songs aren't completely all over the place from track to track, but that really seems to be a staple of early VK. And a few months ago, without doing all this stuff on the channel, I wouldn't have known that. So I've learned so much about the scene and about Japanese rock in general. I found other bands that I didn't know of. Believe it or not, the band Church of Misery was actually requested by Module 79L, who plays in a Portuguese industrial band called Waste Disposal Machine. And they're just an incredibly amazing Japanese doom band. And I do chuckle that they were shown to me by a guy in the Portuguese scene, which is another amazing experience, and something I'm so blessed and honored to be a part of, is the Portuguese scene. My buddy Muck in early January requested me to check out a band called Switch Tents. And the feedback happened within, 12 or 14 hours of the video going live. Heard back from the band, and Hugo, the vocalist, gave me a list of bands to check out. And suddenly, I get to dive into this incredible scene that I didn't really know was as strong as it truly is. And I've been able to establish so many amazing relationships with so many amazing people over there, where I truly feel like I'm a part of it, even though I'm here in the United States. And there are so many bands I love, so many bands I've had the privilege and the honor of covering. It's been amazing. And another one of those things that you just never know what's going to happen when you do content on somebody, on a band, and cover something. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. So many, the collaboration with the guys from gal from Portuguese Distortion, the webzine, and those videos, I can't wait for those to start up again. I love doing them. I've found some bands that have become dear to my heart. So many more friendships have come from that. So many bands themselves have reached out. There was a point where I was probably getting a request every day for at least a month. And there's some amazing records. I knew about Moonspell because Moonspell are the biggest export from the country. But man, there is so much more to Portuguese metal than Moonspell. So much. So many incredible bands of so many different varieties, from male dominated to some amazing female vocalists and female musicians as well. So male and female, you've got a great scene there. And man, it's been so much fun to cover it. And I love being able to do videos every time I can on that scene. I don't want to name everybody, but thank every single one of you that I've had a chance to talk to. So many of the friendships and relationships from that scene. It's been amazing. And I cannot wait to continue doing more from you guys and covering you guys as much as I can. It's been amazing. Thank you to Dusan and the guys from Serbia. Being able to cover some Serbian stuff has been awesome. Diving into the Indonesian scene has been amazing. There's some really killer stuff from Indonesia, and it's a scene I certainly do need to explore more of. I've been able to touch on bands from Bangladesh, and that's awesome. There's scenes all over the world, and it's just been incredible to dive into some of this stuff, as well as to do the popular stuff. It's easier now that some of the popular bands I love are putting out new content that I haven't heard, because I don't want to repeat the same stuff that I've done and love. Though I do pull that stuff out every now and then, just in the hopes of finding some new fans for the stuff that I truly enjoy, and it's been near and dear to my heart for so many years. Another big one is Coheed and Cambria stuff. I don't remember who made the request at this point for IKS3, the track. But man, I certainly didn't expect the love from the fence. That's been amazing. Going through that catalog the way I have at the request of all of you, album by album from start to finish, that's been a journey, and it's been an incredible thing to share. And it's another band that I'd heard some of, but I just didn't give them the chance. And I'm glad in some ways that I didn't, because I get to share that here. And it's meant so much to so many of you, and that's been amazing. And there's some really great things. There's some stuff that hasn't made it off the cutting room floor, unfortunately. The proverbial cutting room floor. There's some stuff that I just haven't been able to put up. I just haven't been happy with it. I try to provide constructive criticism when I do a video. And if I'm too negative, or I just can't truly get into the track and I don't have a lot to say about it, a lot of times the majority of the time, that stuff just doesn't make it up. So there's probably 20 or 30 bands, 20 or 30 videos that just haven't made it. Like, I really want to like Galmet, but they just sound too much like Arch Enemy. I've gone back to Metter's Anthems so many times, and it's just so close to some of the stuff off of Wages of Sin that it's really hard. I struggle a bit, but do my best to give it a chance. And if it's something that I'm happy with, I'll put it up. And I still put up negative opinions. I just try to be constructive with it, because just tearing a band down and being highly negative and cursing, that doesn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't help. Sure, it might start some controversy, and I might get more views. But honestly, I'm not worried about that. You know, subs will come, and people will tune in to see somebody talk about their favorite bands. And I don't need to tarnish what I do here by being negative. And one thing I have learned is, and this is a little on the negative side, is people stick in their boxes. You know, I'm not trying to be mean, but there's a slight level of hypocrisy. Whereas you get a lot of people that like certain stuff. They want to, and they love their bands. And they want content creators, they want reviewers, people like myself and many others out there, to do stuff on the stuff they love. However, when it comes to being open-minded and checking out other things that aren't the stuff they love, there's not a reciprocation of that happening. So I had to learn really quickly that view count to me doesn't matter, as long as if a video gets, and sub count to me doesn't matter, because I'll put up stuff and it might get 40 views. But if one or two of those people suddenly like the band and go out and buy the record, then that video is worth it. You know, if 100 people watch it and 3 people decide that they like the band, or 1 person decides they like the band and they go out and pick up some stuff, that's worth it. That little bit has made a slight impact. And that's really, as a critic and a review, and as somebody who does reviews, all I could hope for is something I do helps an artist, because it's tough, it's difficult, and the guys and gals out there making music, especially metal and hard rock, they're putting in a lot of work, and they're not always getting the return out of it. And there's a lot of amazing bands out there that a lot of people will never have a chance to hear because they're not getting the exposure. So I'm really happy, and I'm still going to continue to put emphasis on covering smaller bands. And if that reciprocation of doing the bands that people love don't translate into you guys checking out the smaller stuff, that's okay. I'm still going to do it. And it's still going to be a big part of my content, as well as checking out the big stuff. You know, the other thing is I've been able to do things the way I want to do. I grew up reading magazines like Metal Maniacs and Metal Edge, and I love focused, honest, concise reviews. And at first I started thinking about doing print reviews again, but I'm really not the greatest web designer, and putting together a website was not something I really wanted to do. And things really moved to YouTube and other visual mediums, and I started doing this. However, from video one, I've always tried to, and I still try to, and honestly, I kind of wish that I didn't call the channel Baldmanreacts as opposed to Baldman Reviews or something similar. But I do my best when I do a video and I cover and I'm listening to a track. I've always tried to do that review in real time. That's the way I look at it. That's kind of how I envision it. And I want to be able to provide that educated musical opinion. And I've been able to do that. You know, I'm not the biggest channel on YouTube. And you know what? I'm completely okay with that. Because I love you guys, and I'm so happy that all of you are here. And even more so, that the comment sections in these videos are not full of toxic stupidity. Thank you guys so much for respecting each other and being nice and having some amazing conversations. And you know, that dialogue, I really learned so much from just seeing you guys talk back and forth about stuff you enjoy. I pick up a lot from that. I've always tried to stay really active in the comments and pick up most of it, and I look at those several times a day most of the time. And I do my best to filter all the dumb stuff out. And just so many amazing discussions. A couple of viewers exchanged a CD. Somebody was able to get a hold of a really hard to find copy of Gauze by Duran Gray. And the only cost, I believe, was shipping. That's awesome. It's great that people here on the channel are reaching out to each other and establishing relationships. I couldn't be happier about that. I really couldn't. It's an amazing thing. I've been able to do some videos for people that are so heartfelt and cover stuff that they love, and to see people sharing their experiences here in the comment sections and being comfortable with that and seeing the support and the love from other people, man, it gives me chills. It really does. That stuff really makes doing this worth it. The video for Jealous by Duran Gray, man, that still gives me chills. So truly, thanks to Undeniable Reality for reaching out, from Nightlight, and I'm gonna forget people if I start naming names because there's been so many of you. So I'm gonna try not to name drop a whole lot here, but so those videos are amazing. And unfortunately, you can't you can't send messages via YouTube anymore. So if something like that does happen, do you want me to do a video that's really personal, contact me via Facebook. It's the easiest way to do it, either on the channel personal page or on the main page. Both of those are the business page. Both of those links are in the description, and both of them should be on the main Facebook page for the channel as well. I do have Instagram and Twitter. I don't check them as religiously as I do on Facebook, so I do apologize about that. You can also reach me via email, baldmanreacts@gmail.com. And overall, it's been an incredible time. It's been great. And there's a lot that I still want to accomplish. So what's next? Well, I want to continue to promote bands. I want to start doing more actual reviews, because talking business for the slight little bit that I want to do here, I don't make money off reactions because it's copyrighted content. However, I do get a chance to make some off of opinion-based content and for reviews, stuff that doesn't contain copyrighted content. So I do want to do more reviews. Do want to do more opinions on stuff here and there, like female fronted metal and 8PSB and some of the videos that I've done. There's another series I'm working on. I just need to get a better camera, and eventually that will happen. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So as soon as I get that going, it'll be great. Also, that is going to be edited, and that is going to test my editing skills a little bit. So that might be a lot of frustration the first couple. And I do also hope to get over to Portugal at some point and start, actually getting some. I want to start doing interviews with bands, and I want to start featuring bands on the channel, like featuring unsigned bands or lesser known bands a month, doing a record on them getting an interview or something in, and really just devoting some content so that they can have a spotlight. So, and then that's in addition to doing the reactions. I want to be able to devote a bit more time. It's been a little bit less than I've wanted to lately, but unfortunately life got in the way. So I do apologize about that. But I'm certainly back with a vengeance. And there's so much to do. There's so many records I haven't been able to cover, from stuff that I enjoy, from Visual K, and all the other scenes out there. So we're going to dive into that as quickly as I can and continue to develop this, what I do here. You know, I want to also thank all of you guys on Patreon. I don't push my Patreon page because it does still feel a little odd having people subscribe to me personally. I do truly appreciate it. It helped me get a new mic. It certainly helped me keep going, and some of that helped me adopt my new dog, Sam, who, if you follow me on Instagram, there's a bunch of pictures of Mr. Barky Von Barks-a-Lot himself, which unfortunately he did make an appearance in one of the videos recently, which I do apologize about. He's still getting used to things. He spent 6 months in the shelter, and I was able to adopt him the day before he got euthanized. So, you know, some of the Patreon funds went to that as well, and I truly appreciate you guys. It's been amazing. Now, the other thing is, I do want to start sending out care packages to units, and it doesn't have to just be from the U.S. military, but you know, in the 3 deployments that I did in the United States Army, getting care packages meant so much, and being able to give back to those that are still serving is something that's very important to me. You know, I thank military veterans, law enforcement, and first responders every video I do, and that's never going to change because they deserve to hear it. And it's such a huge part of me. So that's something I want to do as well. And hopefully we can get some of those downrange by Christmas time. For those of you that celebrate Christmas. But it's always a big one. And it's always a tough time to be deployed. If not for the religious aspects, for the familial aspects, and the celebrating it with people you love. So it's a tough time to be away. And hopefully by the end of the year, we will have a couple of care packages going out there to people. So that's another big thing. And just continue to do my best to give you guys the best content that I can. Thank you so much for being here, every single one of you, for all of the relationships, all the friendships, all the comments, good, bad, and indifferent. It's made me a better person. It's made me a better critic. And it has certainly changed the way I listen to music. Made me more patient, that's for sure. You guys have no idea how hard it is to buy a record, to do content on it, and to not listen to it, or to not just go out and listen to the next record on a band that I suddenly love. Like it's killing me to not be able to do Coheed videos every day because I want to hear every record. The new Duran Gray, or get into all the Gazette stuff, or Versailles, or Unlucky Morpheus, or Maximum Hormone, and all this other stuff. But it's made me more patient. I mean, there's some records I still have. Like, I haven't done anything on the new Tremonti record yet, other than the stuff that's been released, even though I have the record sitting in iTunes waiting for me. But we'll get to that at some point. Thank you guys and gals for making the past year incredible, and for being here and making this a reality. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to the promotions companies that I work with, the PR companies that I work with. Thank you to all the bands that have contacted me personally and allowed me to to cover your music. It's been amazing, and I can't wait to get more done for you. Thank you to my law enforcement, military veterans, and first responders for what you do every single day. As always, you have been awesome. I have been Baldman. This has been reflecting on a year doing videos. Thank you for listening and being here. I'll see you in the next one. Be excellent to each other and keep headbanging.